if you're a remote closer, stop doing this. If you have been doing this because you learned this from some online course, like, you need to stop doing this right now. And one of these things that I see happen a lot of times is closers posting about their role play, and they take a photo, they do a role play, and because like we are new, right, and we have just done this online course, so we have our course mates who are equally as green as us. So I'm green and you're green, and we meet on Zoom and we role play, and sometimes it's not even a full closing call. Sometimes it is like, I don't know, a setting call, and we then take a photo of each other's computer, and then you post it, and you say that, today I role played with, James, and James is amazing. And James shared with me that when we role play, the tonality is very important. And I shared with James that, mindset is very important. Yay. And then we post, right? And of course to you, it's like I generated some momentum. And I know, I have been through that phase where it's like, I don't know what to post today. And, at least I got to do something. So I role played with James, and I was like, I have to build some momentum. I have to show that I'm doing something, because this is where I am. I need to start with what I have and use what I can, right? So I completely understand. And after I share this analogy with you, you will never do this again, okay? Because first of all, when you make that post, can I ask you, who are you posting for? Who do you want to see it? Are you posting for your fellow course mates to see? Are you posting for your mentor to see? Like, what is your brand for? Or are you posting to attract that qualified business owner that's going to hire you to say that, hey, I've seen your content on closing, I've seen your content on high ticket sales, and I need a closer on my team right now, right? I would love for you to join my team. If you look at all my work on my Unique Closer brand training, I document all those self-sourced interviews where companies really just write into me and say, Sean, I would love to have you on my team. And I'm like, I don't really have experience. And they're like, no, it's okay. I want you to really take my calls. I want you to be on my team. And I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, right? So I created these inbound qualified opportunities because of my closer brand, because of how I express myself as a closer, because of the things that I share, learning, progressing, doing as a closer. I always marketed and presented myself as a closer for qualified teams with a high ticket offer that are looking for closers. You'll never see me post my role plays. And my question to you is why? Right, and as I was saying earlier, once I share this analogy with you, you'll never post those role play photos again. Okay. Imagine this. Imagine, like, depending on where you are, okay, you order an Uber, right? You order a taxi. Like in Singapore, it's Grab, but if you're in the States, it's an Uber. You order a taxi, and imagine as the car is on its way to pick you up, you whip out your phone and you happen to see the driver on social media, and he just made a post saying that, hey, I am about to get my license. I've just gotten my license, and I'm gonna do some test drives around, like, the training ground, the driving center. I'm still learning. I'm still test driving. Do you dare to board the car? Do you dare to board that taxi? Do you dare to sit on that brand new, untested driver's car? So in this scenario, the business owner is the passenger. You are the taxi driver. And imagine the business owner is about to hire you, and then they check, wait a minute, this person is green, this person just started role playing. Do you think the business owner dare to hire you? Because all those leads that they're going to funnel your way, those leads cost hundreds and thousands of dollars to generate. Like one quality booked call, if you do the math, next time you join a proper team, you do the math, this business owner that spend 5 figures per week just to generate ads for their high ticket offer. So each call is easily $300 to $500 US. You think they're gonna find someone who's just starting to roleplay and then hand you these calls? I'm not sure if I did a good job explaining this analogy. I hope I got my message across. If it's not clear, okay, let me know. I'm gonna take this video down and re-explain. If it is clear, you're probably thinking, okay then Sean, fair enough, I agree with you. So what should I post? Okay. First of all, I'm not asking you to lie. When I was 2 weeks old, I outright just said, I'm 2 weeks old, I'm still in my closer program. I'm still training. At the time, business owners did reach out to me and I said that, I haven't graduated from my program. And they were still like, I want you to take calls from me right now. Right? So what was I posting? How did I carry myself? And all these things I'm saying, I'm not generating theory on the spot. Like I never closed before and then I just tell you to do this, do that. If you go to my closer profiles and you scroll all the way down, you see that right from 2018, even when I was super green, even when I had no experience, I was really just sharing my work and my lifestyle as a closer. So the business owners could see my consistency. They could see how coachable I was. They could see how hungry I was. Did they mind that I had no experience? Not really. Because for a lot of these business owners, I know they keep saying they want experience, right? What they really want is an experience. In fact, they have a hard time dealing with those super experienced rock star closers because they're very difficult to lead. They're very difficult to manage. They would much rather have someone who's young, who is coachable, who's easy to work with, and you have the work ethic, you have the values. They hire you for your ability, your raw ability, your character, your work ethic, and they're super willing to train you for the skills. It's much easier for them, it's much better for them, and it's your advantage that you don't actually have experience. So it's how you see it. If you keep thinking that you're afraid to hop on these calls because you have no experience, you're only going to push away all those good opportunities and you're just going to keep attracting those setter like cold calling opportunities that are not really remote high ticket sales stuff. Those are like it's a different career path. So turn your lack of experience to your advantage. I'm not asking you to lie. Wherever you are in your journey, if you're 6 months old, just say you're 6 months old. If you're 2 weeks in, just say you're 2 weeks in. If you've had some previous experience in sales, talk about it. Even if it's not directly related to sales, bring it in. Talk about your actual experience. I know some of you work as nurses, I don't know, even like engineers. Some of you come from previous B2B sales jobs. Whatever you worked before, whatever experience, even if you think it is not related to sales, are there elements of active listening inside? Are there elements of persuasion? Are there elements of influence, of communication? Some of you work as teachers before. If you're an engineer, are you good with numbers? Are you good with connecting the dots? Are you good with connecting systems together? Right? For me, it's not even related to sales. Like I was a martial arts instructor, so I talk about my discipline. I talk about my focus. I talk about my hunger to develop myself. I talk about mindset. I talk about personal development. And I will take all these seemingly unrelated things and then I would conclude by saying, this is how I would handle. I'm not saying that I have done it. At the time I had no experience, but I would say like, this is how I would function this as a closer. This is how I would think and operate as a closer on the calls that you send my way. This is the approach that I would engage your prospects with. If you're interested, reach out and let's connect. If you see all my posts, even when I had no experience, it was always like that. So I didn't lie. I didn't pretend to have experience. I didn't pretend to be this like highly skilled closer. I was always upfront and said, I'm green, I have no experience, but this is what I can bring to the table. And most importantly, I was, and you can see the way I talk and I express myself, I was writing to that one business owner who I know needs to offload all his or her calls to a closer. Not a seller, not a cold caller, not a VA, a closer that takes calls to close for a high ticket offer. And I wrote this in all my copy, I said this in all my videos, and this alone helps you filter out at least 50% of all the unqualified opportunities. You're like, the battle is halfway won. I wasn't writing to my fellow classmates, I wasn't writing to my mentor, I was writing to my ideal client. Because when you do the role play thing and you post that I role play with James and James role play with me, I know all your classmates come and support you, right? They comment and then you add more salespeople and then they support you, and then you feel motivated for what, 4 weeks, 4 months, and then you realize like, wait a minute, I'm either still not closing or I ended up calling, joining some cold calling team and then cold call every day for free. Like, didn't I sign up to be a remote closer? So I hope that this explanation is clear. If it's not, let me know, and then I'll do my best to do a retake. But if it is clear and you're like, okay Sean, so I want to do what you did and I want to brand myself as a high ticket closer like you, how do I do it? So in the description I'm going to put a link to one of my most important trainings. It's called the Unique Closer Brand. Okay, this isn't a job. This is a business. This is your one-man business, and every business needs a brand. Without a unique closer brand, may I ask, your closer program has like hundreds and thousands of graduates, right? So when all of us come flooding into the market, how are you different? And everyone is green, right? Where's the trust that when a business owner says, I have 100 calls, I would like you to take them from me? What is the anchor that creates this trust, so that by the time you look at all my recorded interviews, by the time they met me in an interview, it's like we have known each other for a long time? But that's not true. That was our first call, it was the first interview, that was the first time we've met, and you can see the rapport is already there, the warmth is already there, the trust is already pre-built. Like half the battle is already won, because before that I had my brand to protect my one-man remote closing business. If you're generic, if you don't signal yourself as a closer for qualified teams, then you're probably just going to end up the next few months just posting about, I role play with James and James role play with me, and then yay, let's go, and then you cold call for free. So if you don't want that to happen, break the pattern now. Stop posting about role plays, stop posting about networking calls, and market yourself, sell yourself. If you feel like there's a lack of content ideas, or you don't feel comfortable expressing yourself, or you just don't know how to just market and brand and sell yourself as a remote high ticket closer, go to the link in the description and study my Unique Closer Brand training. And along the way, after the training, if you have any comments, questions or feedback, just reach out, find me on social media and ask me any questions that you might have. Until next time, it's Sena, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.